Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Mika Frankl. Today we got a special edition interview coming at you. We don't all the time talk about the amateur boxing scene, but we're going to do so right now with a longtime friend, first-time interviewee, Katherine Lindenmuth. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I guess we'll have to start with, we know each other. I used
hmm
to do TV with your husband, miss him
hmm
dearly.
Yeah.
We saw you ringside with us there doing media, and you're there watching boxing for so long. Did you ever dream that you wanted to get in there and throw blows?
I did. I used to talk to James about it a lot. I would tell him, oh, I want to get in there. And he goes, I'll announce for you, but I won't watch you. And I mean, I'd always say something. He was like, I could see you in there, but I can't watch you. I always thought, I did this when I was like 15 and maybe get back into it, something different. I really like it. And I ended up doing something with it.
And real quick to give everybody some background, you have a big athletic background. I've seen you were a dancer among other things. Run it down for us.
So when I was in, like, it starts back, I guess, in middle school. I ran like cross country as an eighth grader on varsity for my high school team. I ran that for like 4 years. And my senior year, I ended up doing cheerleading. Found something I really liked. Like, I loved running. I still absolutely love running. Drove my cheerleading team nuts because I just want to run all the time. But found a love. Ended up coaching for 14 years, varsity, between either varsity to razzle dazzle. Started a couple high school programs as a cheerleading coach, and I still really love it. Kind of, and was married, had my son, and kind of broke away for a little bit. Decided a little break, and um, honestly, the year that my husband passed away, I had finished dancing as a gladiator for the Duke City Gladiators, and I decided to start boxing. And I was already in the gym before he had passed away, and I think it was right after that I really just started getting serious. It took a couple months of, the initial, we were all pretty sad and it was a rough time, but getting right into it, and this is where I've been ever since. I absolutely, like, my husband and I love sports. Going to the bowl games and shouting at the TV, laughing at him pacing with his 49ers. Like, I mean, just love sports, deep love, and just respect for competition in general. And just being able to do, be ringside with him as an announcer, and now like being able to be that boxer in the ring, you know, kind of brings back some sentimental memories.
So as soon as you started training, you already had thoughts of, I'm going to compete one day.
Yeah, I had told my coach, I'm like, gosh, I really want to get in there. Right after I started training, I started asking to spar because we get to do a little sparring here and there. And it was kind of a little crazy with COVID and with the restrictions. And I really, like, set my mind about 6 months in. I was like, I'm gonna start fighting. Like, I really think I can start fighting. And at that point I was 141 pounds. And within the 2 months that I had decided to start competing, I had dropped to 118 and, like, signed up through USA Amateur, and was already seeking bouts and matches, which is a really rough time right at the end of 2020. It was still kind of rough. And now I'm, matching up at 106, 108, working hard and, you know, fighting my fights. Like, I really decided I needed to be in that ring. I absolutely love being in there. It's a feeling like no other. I love
So
it.
how many are we talking so far? How many fights have you had?
So I had signed up 20, like, within the fall of 2020, and I my first match was regionals for Golden Gloves, because if you don't have anybody at your bout weight, they just go ahead and move you forward in state for Golden Gloves, because they need to have those bouts to get to nationals to do well as a team. So my first fight was in regionals, and I TKO'd the number 9 national ranked fighter in regionals to advance to nationals. And that was my first fight. So it was so exciting. Great feeling. Nationals was pretty overwhelming. I loved it. It just throws you back because of the talent that you are surrounded by. It's amazing. And after that, I've had a couple fights. I had one at Cigales a month back, and then I fought 2 other fights in Arizona, and I came home with a belt from the Jean Lewis Invitational in Arizona. So I came home with the championship belt.
Hit the ground running is an understatement.
Yeah, I'm determined. I think I've always been that way. Could have drove my husband nuts. Just when I'm focused on something, my goal is set, and I do not know how to take no, or I don't take a loss. Like, losses aren't losses to me, only if you quit. And I'm definitely not somebody that quits.
Like, now talk to me about the style when you get in there.
I'm pretty aggressive. I have, I feel in amateur, I'm learning a lot. I have skill, but I am still learning how to kind of refine that. I have a lot of aggression. So I will come out pretty hard at the beginning, learning how to pull that back, really like honing in my skill, finding my holes, picking my shots. It's amazing watching video from when I first started sparring to where I'm at now. But my first initial is like, I'm going to go get you. Like, if you didn't know pressure, you do know it now. That's kind of he's noticed that's just my style. My coach just really knows. He's like, you got to go at them, and get in their face right away. I feel like it's maybe because I'm small. Like I'm a little shorter than everybody. So I've got to show them who I am just right away.
It's been a lot of fights. It's been almost an accelerated learning pace and competitive attack. And you sound motivated for all of it. Has there been a point, though, where has it been a lot coming at you, or overwhelming in the sense of what you're learning and trying to pick up these techniques to combat with these girls that have probably, some of them, been at it a little bit longer than you? Yeah.
You know what? That definitely, I can totally say that there are moments I feel, and I think as anybody feels, that you feel inadequate. You're like, am I doing a good job? Am I learning these skills fast enough? And, it's a big learning curve for me, knowing that I can't just learn everything all at once. I'm not going to be good at everything just immediately. It takes a lot of work, hard work, repetition, focus, training your body to think differently is a main one. And there are times I feel like, wow, this is a lot. Like, I wonder if I'm doing well. And that's when your team, the people you surround yourself with, could be your kids, your family, anybody in the gym that sees you, it's just like that family feeling that like will lift you up in that moment, because everybody can feel it. So if they think, or they feel that overwhelmed feeling from you or anyone else, they're like, hey, good job, great punch, or, you're looking good. Don't, we're always constantly cheering each other on in the gym. Like, keep going, don't quit, 30 seconds, burn it. Like, it's so, like, it's like a team. Like, I've been on basketball teams and cheer teams and like a lot of teams where you cheer each other on. It's just a gym of people that is your team. Like, that's your cheering squad, your backing right there. And I can't lie, I felt very overwhelmed when I lost at Cigales about a month ago. I felt like I did really well. I thought maybe it was more just the scorecards in her favor. I thought, a lot of people thought I did mightily well, and I wondered, well, what could I have done better? And I'm constantly analyzing that, and it can be overwhelming if you analyze too much. But to know, okay, it's just one step in front of the other, learning each skill, practicing it, and just saying, I did that then, I've got to change it and move on and do something different now. Because if that didn't work, I've got to move something different here. And I'm new to it. Like my skills are getting better every day. I have to continue to move up because I'm not going down. I was like, I'm not going to go backwards. I got to go forwards. But I know for me as a new fighter, I have a lot to learn, and I don't mind learning that in the ring as I go.
The gym that you're coming out of, you've mentioned coach a couple times, is Coach Anthony
Mm-hmm.
Rosales,
Mm-hmm.
Kajakimbo, and karate.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him produce countless female amateurs, not to mention Katie
Mm-hmm.
Ramirez and Brandy Montoya on the professional side. What has it been
Mm-hmm.
like working with Coach? And it seems like he has a real knack for honing in on with the female fighters.
He just, I feel like he has that eye to see, well, I can see what you're doing, let's fix that. And he's very motivating, but he needs you to believe in yourself first. I feel like that is honestly the biggest thing, is if you don't believe you can do it, it's hard for someone else to believe for you. So when he feels that momentum is just, it's really like, it really pushes you. Because I mean, as a coach, and I've coached, if that person doesn't want to do well or they're not unsure about it, it's hard to make them rise to that occasion. He has a lot of skill and technique that we practice in the gym. I mean, he's been doing it for so long. He was a fight, he was fighter. He's announced. He's been a coach. It's just his knowledge. He really does like seep it over to everyone, not just his fighters. He may be producing, I feel like he's produced a lot of good youth fighters, not even just female fighters. We have a lot of good youth in our gym that are upcoming. They're starting to sign up for USA boxing and lower levels. And just what he's like overflowing onto them. And it just seeps onto the rest of the gym. Even if somebody's not competing, it's it's just like a wealth of knowledge that he just is really like spreading to everyone. It's wonderful to have a coach with that much passion for what he does, and he doesn't do it, this isn't a coach that does things for money. He does it because he likes it. He does it because he believes in what the sport stands for, what his gym can transform youth and turn lives around. I mean, there's testimonies in our gym. So it's nice working with someone that really has passion for it. It isn't for the name or, yes, we all want to win, but it's what it stands for.
We got another fight for you coming up right away this
Mm-hmm.
weekend. The Fit
Yes.
NHB Martial Arts Complex, guys. They've been hosting amateur MMA fights. We've got USA boxing. It's definitely the place to be watching combat sports. At least for the last year, it has been. So tell us about the upcoming fight.
So the next fight for me is I believe it's Duke City Fight Fest. Can't quite hone on the exact name, but it is this Saturday. I weigh in bright and early in the morning. I'm going for a WBC title belt, I believe, is what I was informed of. It's a title belt. I'm actually rematching against the female I fought at Seagullis. So it is a rematch, and we both did get to go to Arizona. So I honestly feel like this is an honest to goodness real rematch for a title belt. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, it's just putting two fighters together, we'll just make a match. It really feels like it's going to be a great, like, I don't know, we're going to bring a lot of competitiveness out. I feel like you can come in and just watch a fight and be like, oh, that was nice, or you can really get your crowd going. I think we were able to do that at Seagullis, and we weren't even title matched. So I think it's going to be a great, like, I don't know, a great match. I'm excited. Like, I have a lot of respect for her as a fighter. We did go to nationals together in Tulsa. I'm really excited about it.
Now, I know this will be up to your coach, but I got the feeling already your expectations are to eventually to do this professionally.
Yes. So, I mean, whenever that time comes that we step into a professional ring, I've already been training. to be able to do this professionally. And we're reaching out for fight camps, as well as, you know, sparring MMA fighters, and doing some, you know, some different things to kind of get that rounded feeling, because pro is different, a different game. I definitely believe I have what it takes for it. There's a hunger you have to have for pro. It goes beyond just, you know, biting points. It's really like getting in there to win. Like there's that mentality you have to bring forth, and I think I got that. So I don't even think I know I have it. I have to have that confidence in myself. Just the determination, not quitting, aggression that I have. I think it'll fit right in, like transitioning into pro. And it's whenever we feel like it's the right time. It's hard to get a lot of matches as an amateur fighter at my weight, my age. It's a little more difficult, especially with COVID. If we're going to fight, it's probably out of state. It's been a blessing to have 2 fights in 2 months in one state, and then be able to travel out of state and be able to get 2 other fights in a tournament. It's just harder for female fighters to get those bouts nowadays. I don't know if it's them, you know, people not wanting to come out, a little more nervous about it.
It's just always hard to get fights in the women's side. It's few and far between. Wanted to ask you about the example you're setting, the role model you're being for your children.
So I have 3 boys, and I mean, as a family, we've been through quite a bit. I mean, got one right there. He's popping his head in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Over there. He's they all watch me while I work. They know I work really hard. I really want them to understand that good things come to those who work hard. I'm always been that coach that I feel that heart will always overplay skill. That if your heart is into it and your passion, I mean, you can't be just completely terrible, but your passion, your heart for something is always going to overshadow somebody who just has skill that just goes in there to do a thing. And I want them to have passion for something. And when they do, I don't want them to feel that there's any, that there's really any, I guess, restriction to that. That when you have passion for it, that the restriction isn't there. I know that they've faced a lot of letdowns and things being taken away from them. And I just know that when you work hard at something, there's not a lot you can take from that. Like, you can't take away your will to do something and your passion to do something. So I just keep instilling that in them, whether they take it and go with it. I have a football player, a basketball player, hopefully a future boxer back here. He's really coming into it. He's started training. He's off and on trained with me. I do karate too, so I'm actually a blue belt, and hopefully, you know, this guy, he'll be a future boxer, because he's seeing me work, and at 7 to see me work so hard, I think it's just going to motivate him more to just do that further in sports. And I mean, there's only so much I can ask of them, and they're always in everything I do. So I mean, regardless of me doing anything, they're always right there watching. Like, they're important to me just like everything else I do. So.
And then last thing I wanted to ask you about is the bright red hair an intimidation technique?
I don't know. Like, I've always had like really vibrant hair, and I think it was I mean, I've had braids, and when James was alive, I had braids, and then I just decided to shave most of my hair off and add in color, and it's been blue, red, pink, rainbow. I love the fact I can express and have fun. I am trying to tame it to do something a little bit different. I do feel like it's intimidating, but I can tell you right now, the most intimidating thing about me is that I have tattoos. I've had girls take like one look at me, and they're like, the look on their face is like, oh no. And I'm like, Oh, but you don't know me. Like, I don't know. It's, I had a coach come up to me and say, I'm pretty sure that was the beginning of the fight was when they just saw you. So, I mean, I love it. I'm gonna have to let go of the extensions when it comes to professional fighting. So we're working on growing it out to just do the more cornrows, but I think it's here to stay. My kids are begging me to grow out my long hair, and I'm like, no, I like it. I like vibrant colors. I'm going testing for my green belt, and I was gonna do bright green hair, and I decided to wait, and I'm gonna do green and red for Christmas. I mean, gotta do something fun. It's all
Tattoos, a red mohawk, any feeling that you're kind of putting off that Mad Max vibe when we also know you as the
little
sweet
bit.
mom?
Sweet mom, don't mess with me though. Maybe that might be a little bit there.
It's great getting to talk to you, Kathrine. Great getting to go through and chat somewhat about this boxing journey you're on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. It's an honor to be interviewed by you. I know my husband had a lot of we all had a lot of respect for everything that you're doing. I was so excited to see you this last weekend. It was such good fights. I was very pleased. I mean, it's been a while since I had actually sat ringside. I think it's probably Buffalo Thunder that I sat ringside with my husband announcing for stuff like that. So it's pretty wild. I mean, and we watched boxing, and this is more of the cage match. It was awesome. So
Oh yeah, no, those
awesome to be
amateurs,
there.
it was rowdy. It was an incredible night of fights.
Like my kids had a blast because I brought my kids, and they had a blast, and they definitely liked the broken nose and the flying knee. It was awesome. So just pleasure to be here.
Thank you again.